Hi, and welcome to a Discovering Leicester. We're going to be starting off at Shackerstone train station, heading towards Shackerstone, looking at the Moat and Bailey, down to the Gibbet Post, and then eventually getting down to Shenton train station and catching the steam train back up. So hopefully this will all work, and well, we catch the train in time, otherwise it's going to make it into a very long walk. The last time we came through this through Shackerstone is when we did the Leicestershire round a couple of years ago, but this time I'm just having a look around and seeing all the places that we actually missed. Shackerstone's a quaint old village, and it's one of the very few places where you've actually still got a telephone box that's not actually being turned into a defibrillator or a library. Don't know whether you can actually make a phone call from it or not, but there's the telephone inside. To call lift handset, or to call a St Peter's Church at Shackerstone. We're going to be doing all the usual, have a look for the benchmark and see if we can actually get inside. It looks well locked up, but earlier we could hear the church bells. But there's a bench there, and you know what I've always said, behind the bench is the benchmark. So let's have a look. So we found this benchmark. This is at St Peter's Church, Shackerstone, behind this propped up gravestone. That'd actually make a nice coffee table, that. So, yeah, why not? So that's the benchmark just down there. I'll pull this apart again, we'll pull it away again. And there's the benchmark at St Peter's Church, Shackerstone. Probably get somebody complaining, but they're being disrespectful by just shoving a gravestone like that. So once we've actually seen the church, we head back down Church Road towards Coniston Lane, and we turn left down here. And I can see over there you've got Tinsley Lane, which we'll be picking up later. Okay, we're going to head to Coniston, and we're going to stop at St James's Church. We're going to have a look around and hopefully find some medieval carvings. Hopefully we'll find the Green Man and some apophytic markings, and hopefully the benchmark. Our journey takes us into Coniston now. We're going to have a look at the church, which is, I think, just down here on the right-hand side. Some of the cottages in Coniston must be at least over 100 years old. You look at the eaves, the work in there. Just looking at the architecture, it's very, very interesting. So we came across the War Memorial in Coniston. Nicely kept. Being remembered. We're now coming up to St Mary the Virgin Church in Coniston, and obviously we're going to do our usual, and I can guarantee it probably won't even be open. Unfortunately, we can't go into the church because they're busy doing churchy stuff in the church at the moment, but we managed to find the benchmark. So I don't know how many that is. I've lost count, and I'm not going to mention it until I've actually counted them all up. But that's the church of St Mary the Virgin Church at Coniston. Now we've left the church, we're leaving Coniston, we're heading over to Bilston, then going to be heading down Gibbet's Lane to the Gibbet Post. So after you've been walking across the fields for a little bit, you come to a little bridge that takes you over the River Sent. And once we cross over here, it'll take us into Bilston. Don't know whether that's low or not. It looks low that side. So now coming up to the watermill at Bilston. I'll go that way, but just going to film this. I suppose there used to be a wheel attached to this, and the water used to come down here, fill the wheel up, spin round, And they used to make, probably grind the flour in there. So probably years ago when this used to be an operational water mill, water used to come here, go into the water wheel, that used to be bolted to the side here, and move the wheels for whatever it did, grind flour or whatever. So the first time I've been to Bilston, another village that could easily fit into my country lanes and cottages. What a lovely place. Well, just discovered as we went through the village of Bilston is actually a conservation area for Hinckley Borough Council with the old street lights. So it's a lovely area to walk through. Old-fashioned telephone box. I don't know whether that's going to be a library, a defibrillator, but I'm going to walk up there and have a look. So that's a good clue of what we're about to see very shortly, Gibbet Lane. So down here it's going to be the Gibbet. So I think it's about half a mile down there. He was sentenced at Leicester as he's to be hung and gibbeted. The hanging was carried out at Red Hill, Bristol, on the 23rd of March. I wonder that's where the Red Hill roundabout is. And as was the custom of the day, after execution, his body was transported to the parish where the crime had been committed. The body would be wrapped in chains and hung from a metal ring on the Gibbet Post and left as a public lasting spectacle. Even as late as 1880, it was reported that the skeleton of John Maisie still existed as a grim reminder to other would-be homicides. Born around 1750, Maisie had been a local celebrity, renowned wrestler, and often defeating his opponents by throwing them over his head, giving rise to the nickname Topsy-Turvy. He worked in the fields at Bilston as an agricultural worker and was reputed to be punctual and industrious. However, he acquired a reputation for heavy drinking and was given a violent outburst of temper and cruelty to his wife Sarah, who died in 1797, and Lydia, who he murdered. So now it's in the Gibbet Post. We're going to carry on down Gibbet Lane, and hopefully there should be a footpath that will take us across the fields, and we should hopefully be picking up the canal very shortly. I reckon we've got about another mile to go for the canal, then we'll be going off to Shenton train station. So after you've been walking down Gibbet's Lane for a while, you'll eventually come to a public footpath on the left-hand side. You head down here and this should take us to the canal, hopefully. So just turn left down here. So once you've turned left, you head down to Temple Mill Farm. So you might be lucky enough to find another mill down here, hopefully. Be interesting. 2 mills on 1 walk. Haven't seen a mill for a little while. Well, back over the River Sense, I think. It looks like it floods quite well around here. And I think just up here is Temple Mill. So this is Temple Mill, and just under there you can see where the water probably flowed. It's obviously doesn't work anymore. I think so the water probably came under there, through there. You used to have the old mill wheel just in there. So the water probably flowed through there and through there, and probably used to have the mill wheel in there somewhere and out to the side, probably diverted from the river. So once you've gone past Temple Mill, you see the yellow way marker. We've got to head over there somewhere. Don't know where, but it's this way. So after going through the field, luckily, well, I don't know whether the farmers actually left it or not, but as you can see, there's a nice, easy to follow path through this field. Almost missed this path, but a little gap in between the corn, straight through here. And there's Wellsborough just in the distance. Like I was saying, I know you can't see it on this camera, but it looks like somebody likes their sunflowers are going around here. I wonder if that's going for sunflower oil, all around the edge. Just up ahead, well, you go through all these fields, and it's quite a defined path to follow, and you can see Wellsborough just up there. Once you've walked across the field to come to Bosworth Road, which is a busy road, and you've also got a lay-by there, and we head straight across the road down there. Once all the traffic's gone, and you head down here, you'll see a little squirrel sign, and I think this place is called, let me have a quick little look, in a second. Squirrels at Wellsborough. First message. Once you get onto Bosworth Road, you turn right and you follow it down and you'll come to the public footpath sign and you just go into the fields here. Once you came off Bosworth Road, you turn right, across the fields, over an awkward gate, through some more fields, and you follow this and hopefully we should start seeing, I'm hoping that we'll start seeing some trains, evidence of trains. Just around there somewhere. So after going across those fields, which has been hard work, we come to Tinsel Lane. Once you get onto Tinsel Lane, we turn left, and this will lead us to Shenton, but we're going to pick up, well, not hit Bosworth, but we're going to pick up the canal, which will take us to Shenton a little bit further down here. The lane, walking down Tinsel Lane feels like frozen in time. Land with hedgerows, hiding centuries of secrets. Folklore speaks of treasure buried beneath these trees and the occasional green man carving, symbols of rebirth, growth, and nature's resilience. If you pause to listen to the birds and the wind through the trees, it's a tranquil part of the walk. Next stop, the canal towpath. Out in the middle of nowhere. Don't know whether someone is being fly tipping around here down Tinsel Lane, but this definitely takes a sparkle out of Tinsel Lane. Looks like somebody's been fly tipping. Either that, we've had the wombles along here, litter picking, and they put it all on there, ready for it to be picked up. So just before you get to the bridge, you'll see an entrance to the right hand side to the Leicestershire Canal. We'll head down here and into our last stretch to Shenton on the steam train. So I think it's roughly about another mile back to the station. It's so idyllic walking along the Leicestershire Canal. Just all the reeds, nobody in sight, nice and quiet. And look at that, just somebody moored up by the side of the canal, probably just sitting there relaxing, pint of cider, watching the world go by. So the canal now crosses over Shenton Lane. So you've got Shenton Lane just down there. Then once you've gone over the Shenton Road, on your right hand side, won't be your left because you've got the canal there, you've got some steps. Go down the steps and this will take you onto Shenton Road and hopefully back to the train station in time to catch the train. That's if the train's even running today. And then back under the canal bridge. 9'9". So this is Shenton Road. No. Okay, we're now on Shenton Lane. And the signposted at Shenton train station just up here. I'm guessing it's going to be about half a mile. Hopefully not much further. And that will actually be how far I said the walk will be, which is a miracle. It's just coming to the end of our walk now. Shenton Station and Cutting. Hopefully we're in time to catch a steam train, but no, now look, we've missed it. We're now at Shenton train station from the Battlefield line. Hopefully we're not too late for the train. I'm going to see if we can actually get a ticket now. So I don't know which way it takes us that way, but I think we need to go that way to Market Bosworth and to Shackerstone. Well, not the best end of a walk. We've missed the train by about 10 minutes and it's going to be another 1.5 hours before the next train's along. So you're going to be getting an Uber back to Shackerstone and we'll be going for a pint from then. Now, hopefully you've enjoyed this walk. Please like and subscribe and I'll see you again next time. Thank you for watching and bye. After a taxi journey from Shenton train station to Shackerstone train station, or to Shackerstone, we had a pint at the rising sun and it's only a short walk back up to Shackerstone train station, and by the time we finished we would have done about 7.5 miles. And we're now walking again along by the side of Leicestershire Canal. Well, we got back at 15:50. We had waited for the train. It would have got us down. It would have come down to Shenton at 4:05. We only got to get back, so we're going to finish this walk a lot later. Oh, well, this is the Shackerstone line. Take you down to platform 1, and that's the gift shop down there. There's a lot more to do down here. There's that Shenton. Got some old diesel engines and some old rolling stock. Don't know what we're going to be doing with all this lot. Whether it's for innovation or just sat there to be scrap. Looks like he's in a bit of TLC.